Hey everybody, welcome to the Watch and Listen podcast. This is a show about watches. I'm your host, Matt Farah, my co-host Cameron Weiss, the master watchmaker, formerly of AP and Vacheron, and now the CEO of the Weiss Watch Company, here making watches from scratch in Los Angeles, California. Before we get into today's show, this episode of Watch and Listen is brought to you by Crown & Caliber. Crown & Caliber is the #1 destination to purchase second-hand luxury watches online. Crown & Caliber is based out of Atlanta with a staff of salespeople, technicians, and watchmakers who are there to make sure that the stuff that they sell you is what it should be. Buy with confidence from Crown & Caliber. No shady deals off the internet. No, is this watch real? No, what happens if I bought a watch and I take it home and it doesn't work? In a lot of these situations, you, my friend, can get screwed. Not with Crown & Caliber. If they send you a watch, it's not working like it's supposed to, they will make it right. We're talking about used watches here, potentially vintage watches. They're still going to do that. And if you got a watch that you want out of, Crown & Caliber does trades. They also do buys. That's how they get their stock. They keep over 2,000 watches in stock all the time from the big brands and some of the little brands. And if you use our discount code here, CAM150, CAM150, we will give you $150 off your first watch purchase at Crown & Caliber. CrownandCaliber.com, the #1 destination for secondhand luxury watches on the internet. Code CAM150, $150 off. Watch and Listen podcast is also brought to you by our beverage of choice, Beeline Coffee. We have been working with these guys for about 2 years now. The coffee is just delicious. It's a single origin. It comes from the best coffee producing regions in the world, whether it's Ethiopia, Costa Rica, Jamaica, Panama, high in the mountains, the jungle stuff, the good stuff. It ain't cheap, folks, and that's because you know when you taste it where that money went. I wish I could give everyone out there a free taste of Beeline, send y'all a sip, because I would not ever have to talk about it again if I let you just taste the stuff. But the best I can do is offer you a discount. Any item from the Beeline Coffee store, big or small, BeelineCoffee.com. Use code CHRONO, CHRONO, for 15% off anything in their store. BeelineCoffee.com, code CHRONO. Alrighty then, on today's episode, this is a good one. Our most requested topic, of course, the one that's going to probably have SEO gold for years to come. It's fakes. Nobody wants to talk about fakes, but everybody wants to talk about fakes. We have some examples of fake watches from Rolex, AP, Omega, and we've got a Cartier as well. And Cameron and I are going to go through some of the stuff that makes that you want to look for, so you don't buy a fake, and some of the ways to spot fakes, and some of the ways to prove watches are authentic. This is an interesting show. Stick around; it'll be fun. Here it is. Watch and listen. Folks, welcome to Wednesday. It's Wednesday. So let's watch and listen. Cameron Weiss in his house.
We're talking fakes today.
There it is. I'm actually excited not only to talk about fakes, but for the potential SEO this will generate.
Yeah.
Honestly, you have to talk about fakes, because if you look at any watch channel on YouTube or podcast or anything, their How to Spot a Fake show is by far the most viewed show.
Yeah. Even just the difference between when you're starting out collecting, just trying to figure out whether those really good fakes, or quote unquote really good fakes,
right,
are like the real thing. You know, there's a lot of people that you can find mechanical fakes, and they might have okay movements, but they're not the real thing.
Yeah. To start it wide. I mean, let's start it wide and then get specific. The appeal of a fake. I mean, look, let's not bullshit ourselves. Watches are expensive. It's an expensive hobby, right?
Yeah.
And everything's relative. Yes, we've done shows about how you can
buy a cool watch for $100, a couple $100, but we spend an equal amount of time talking about watches that are thousands or tens of thousands, and people just don't have that kind of cash. That's
Yeah, and to put that kind of money into a timepiece it's a serious investment.
Yeah,
It's a big step.
If you have $25,000 to your name, should you buy a $25,000 watch?
Probably
No.
not wise.
Should you even buy a $5,000 watch? No. It's buying a watch as an investment. It's like you shouldn't start there. You need to graduate to that kind of stuff.
The only investment that a watch really kind of has built into it is that if you need to grab some cash out of it quickly, you can, but it's very rarely going to be more than you paid for it.
Right. And if so, the things that become valuable down the road are not often typically things that were designed to be valuable from the very beginning. I mean, yes, it's possible that, but the odds of the Rolex Daytona, which was a sort of tool watch in the beginning, being the most expensive watch ever sold, it's not what they thought it was going to be back then.
Yeah.
Which, especially in today's vintage market, which is very hot, can lead you to they didn't keep records like we do now. Like, you could mix and match shit. You can get away with stuff.
Yeah.
Fakers, there's a lot of money in fakes.
Yeah, and when you get into those vintage watches, a lot of them were built with components from other companies. It wasn't a Rolex movement that was in that chronograph. So you could find another Valjo chronograph and put that movement in a case and dial that's new old stock and kind of build a little Frankenstein watch, as they call them, and create very close to the real thing, but not legitimate for collector sake.
Well, at the very highest level, the difference between 1 million and 5 million can be a part that in 1967 cost 12 cents.
Yeah.
That one has that color subdial. That's it. You know what I mean? Oh, yours has a black subdial? Well, mine has a chocolate. That's the difference between $100,000 and $500,000. So it's in someone's very legit business interest. Well, legit is the wrong choice. A strong business interest to someone that is not interested in the real history of it, but is interested in cashing in to make this fake. And then you have things like Instagram, where it's like, yo, from 15 feet away, this fake, looks dope, and I look like a boss on Instagram or in the club or whatever the fuck, wherever you're wearing this thing, the mall. And there's some fakes so you've got your fakety fakes, you know what I mean, where like Rolex is spelled wrong and shit.
Yeah.
And then you've got fakes that have mechanical movements that are cheaper and are made of metal and sort of look kind of legit and are oftentimes more expensive than buying a nice Seiko or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know what a fake is. Fakes fucking suck. Can we just say that, can we just open the show by being like, fakes fucking suck?
Yeah. I'm not a fan. It's interesting to see how some of the companies achieve manufacturing these fakes and different weird tricks that they do. But as far as actually owning one, I don't see it as worthwhile. It doesn't bring me the same joy as the real thing.
No, it's sort of because the point is that at the end of the day, driving some shit, a fake car, or even if it a replica Cobra, you just know it's not.
Doesn't feel the same.
No, it's it's an approximation, and but it doesn't. They don't even really, because I've seen some. They don't really feel like the real thing.
Yeah.
It's literally to put one over on a sucker. That's
and a lot of watchmaking it's history.
Yeah.
And that's all just mental.
Yeah.
What you perceive the brand is before you even handle the watch.
Yeah. Well, that's what people will say is bullshit. You know what I mean? That's sort of the argument.
Yeah.
For
that's
a
why
fake.
it's 10 times the price. And,
right. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like, well, why should I? Yeah, it's not actually that nice. And yeah, Rolex uses components that are made in China. Yeah, you know what I mean? And yet, and so, not that those people don't, that there isn't some truth in that, but in general, if you hold it in your hands, you can tell the difference.
Yeah.
Like you could just tell, most of the time. But we're gonna try and find some ways in this episode that will get you around the common sense. Hopefully,
Definitely.
Cameron, I'm counting on everyone's counting on you, Cameron.
Yeah.
So what we asked Crown and Caliber to do was send us. People try to trade in fakes to them. That's sort of like the funny part about all this is like people send watches to Crown and Caliber for trade-ins and evaluations, and not oftentimes, but obviously frequently enough, they have to notify the people that the watches are fake. Some people don't know they're fake, and so that's why you have to kind of like tread lightly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so sorry to inform you. And they basically tell these people that, and they know right away if the person intentionally tried to pass off a fake or not, because if they did, they never hear from them again. And that's how they've ended up with a selection of fake watches for us to show you guys here on Watch and Listen. But first, real quick, follow myself on Instagram at The Smoking Tire. Follow the Weiss Watch Company, who has just presented the Birdie. What's the Birdie?
So there's a company, Birdwell Beach Britches, and they're another local LA company, been around a long time, making board shorts. Just the best quality board shorts out there. And we partnered with them to actually make this Birdie surf watch. Just 10 pieces red dial and 10 pieces in a white dial version, where it's kind of like going back to that Mickey Mouse watch.
I was about to say, this looks like someone who likes the Mickey Mouse watch a lot.
Definitely, yeah.
I just found a white dial picture. Here's a white dial picture.
Yep, there's the white dial. And then we made the little infinite wave over here for the second hand, which is pretty cool. The wave is
the
actually
wave itself just spins
it
around.
It just keeps going. It's just
That's
like a constant barrel going around the dial.
That's fun.
Yeah, and you got Birdie doing the shaka. Just a fun
I'm a
watch.
fan. I'm a fan. Can I bring
Right?
mine back in for the hands?
Switch the hands up.
I just
for some
want
shaka
the
hands.
hands up, the Shaka hour hand upgrade.
Yeah,
That's dope. And are they sold out?
they sold out like instantly.
Did they really?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I think it was a couple of minutes.
Minutes?
Yeah. Wow. There was only 20 pieces. Just one. You had
Who
10
sold
pieces
them?
white dial.
Did
10
they sell
pieces
them or
red
did
dial.
you sell them?
We all directed people towards Birdwell's site.
Oh, they sold them on Birdwell.
Sold
site.
on the
Okay.
Birdwell site and just gone.
Did you
almost
make
instantly.
them before you sold them, or do you now have to make them?
No, they were all made.
They were all made.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well,
Yeah.
now at least that's good. At least now it's like you're not like in a panic where you're about to
Yeah.
have an aneurysm and you're making you have to make 40 watches by next
Yeah.
Thursday.
It was a fun project, though.
That's
cool to
super
work
cool.
with another local company that is really interested in made in USA and quality products and keeping that craftsmanship alive.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
It's not with what fakes are about.
not at all. Not at all.
However, also should do a quick plug. Shout out to Red Bar, Adam Craniotes, and his team of miscreants had us at Feldmar. Why do I
yeah.
always want to say Feldman? It's Feldmar. Where's the thing? I'm trying to look for it on the. I can't find it. Had us at Feldmar to check out the new Baum Mercier Burt Monroe chronograph, which has got the cool number 35. And they really, where is it? Here it is. This thing is check out this thing. This is really neat. It just went on sale. They had the first one at Feldmar. I'm sorry for not linking to Feldmar. I'm trying to do it in real time, but it's a really cool watch. And the Red Bar crew was they were chill. That was fun.
Yeah, it was a good event.
That was a good fun, solid event.
Yeah.
I like that. So shout out to Craniotes and Red Bar. And if you're interested in like watch gatherings in New York, LA, Chicago, London, check out Red Bar. And that place, Feldmar, had a lot of things.
Yeah, beautiful store.
Really beautiful store. Made me want to spend a lot of money.
Right.
And I think, did Marco buy something?
I don't know if he did.
I think people
He probably did.
People usually go to those watch things, and like we went to the Panerai party too, and like
Yeah.
people were buying things, man. There's
Yep.
watches disappearing off the shelves. Like that's got to be good business for them, just having a party.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about fakes. Should we? We've got actually, and we're fortunate enough to have some real examples of some of these side by side. I don't know. Just
Yeah,
start
or
opening.
similar watches.
Let's just start
there,
opening
yeah.
bags. We don't need to really format this.
Well, let's
Forget
start
it.
off with like really bad fake.
A really
Just
bad fake?
absolutely horrible. Nobody should ever think that this is a real
All right.
watch.
Okay. Cool.
Ever.
Oh, and we have a real version, right?
And we have
that's
a similar watch
miniature
that's real.
date just.
Yeah.
So it's like
Exactly.
a lady.
So this is a
date
lady's date just, and it's absolutely horrible.
All right, hang on.
just-
We're gonna have to zoom in. Actually, instead of zooming in, you want to lower the camera
Yeah.
a bit? We just try that. Oh, that's better.
Is that good?
Yeah, and hit
All
that
right.
focus button. There it is. Okay, here we go. There we go. All right, this is pretty terrible looking.
Yeah.
All right,
First,
so
I
what's-
mean,
what's
first
going
dead
on with
giveaway.
it?
Look at this. You've got gold plating wearing off.
So, all right, so that's a good A tip, right?
Yeah.
If you're looking at a fine watch and it's gold, and you see scratches on it, and there's another color besides gold inside those scratches, that's not good.
Yeah, major no-go. You can really see it down on the bracelet where there's the spot where it would get a lot of wear.
Is that a hole in one of the links too? That's it's
Yeah.
usually a giveaway if something's gone wrong. There's
Yeah,
actually
you
a
would have
nail
had
hole.
the crown would have been glued in there on this fake probably. Yeah,
Wait.
into this little hole right there.
What, like for transit? You mean?
Just like the presidential bracelet style. Have you seen those where they actually have a fixed crown?
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
So the Rolex crown logo is
Oh,
milled out of a solid piece of gold, and it's actually welded on there.
Oh.
This one was probably just glued with some super glue.
You
It's
know
a
what?
very
You
cheap
said the
fake.
word crown, and it confused me because
Yeah.
I thought
Oh,
you meant the
crowning.
crown of like
the watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not the Rolex crown. Yes, the
My
here,
bad.
Like, here, no, because
Yeah.
in that there's one.
Exactly.
There's a crown.
You've got
there.
your crown.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. Sorry. Continue. So yeah, shitty fake gold plating.
Yeah, horrible fake gold plating.
A hole in the band where I glued on crown used to be.
Yeah, and you've got
That bezel looks like a Reese's peanut butter cup tray.
right.
It's really terrible.
Yeah, I mean, if we had better details on the dial, we could get a little more specific. But looking
Can
at
I give them credit that the dial isn't that terrible? Like, put the real one.
you are
next to it.
sitting like 4 feet away.
I'm
so
sitting I am sitting 4 feet away.
Let's
put the
throw a real one under there.
the real one next to it. Hang on, I'll do a little zoom out. All right. So, real one on the right, fake one on the left.
Yeah, so you can see the bezel diameter and the thickness of the from inside diameter to outside diameter is wrong. The date's wrong. The crown is wrong. The like the background on the date disc is also wrong.
The date definitely doesn't fit correctly. There's
Yeah.
no Cyclops.
You've also got kind of this weird hybrid where you've got the wrong bracelet style for this one. I don't know if you could see how you've got the
It's like almost the Jubilee, but like not quite.
yeah, it's kind of like it's supposed to be the presidential style, but it's wrong for that as well. So it's one of those fakes where everything's really kind of wrong. They didn't put too much thought into really passing it off as real,
Yeah.
other than just putting on that Rolex name, which is just horrible.
Apparently enough. And can you actually make that camera a little darker, Cameron?
Let's see.
Go down a stop there, because our fakey's getting a little blown out.
Right,
Yeah, that's
there we go.
better. That's better. Yeah, no, and the real one has like an actual lustrousness to the gold on the dial, where the fake is like super flat. And also the Rolex hands are much more like substantial and have like lume on them, for
Yeah.
instance, and they're black compared to like thin gold-ish colored.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a pretty terrible fake. The
Now
crown,
another thing
the crown is
you
really
can also
awkward.
look for. Rolex uses special spring bars. So you see how they've got that drilled lug there?
Uh-huh.
There's actually a special spring bar just for Rolex. There's no drilled lug on the one that's on the left. Right here.
Did they, in the newer date just, do they use the non...
In the newer date just, you will not see the drilled lugs.
Right, yeah.
However, if you take the bracelet off, they'll still have their Rolex spring bar.
Oh, okay,
Which
yeah.
it's a different, it's not a double-shouldered spring bar. It's a it looks quite different than a regular spring bar. Whereas in all the fakes, you're going to have your standard double flange spring bars not made by Rolex.
Right, like the ones I just bought 300
Yeah,
of.
you find them on eBay.
Which, by the way, they showed up, and I'm very excited. I now have all the spring bars in the world.
Yeah.
From our straps episode, I learned buy new spring bars every time you change a strap.
Yes.
It's I bought 380 spring bars for $11, so I think that should hold me over for a little while.
Definitely.
If someone wanted to, I mean, this fake is pretty shit. I mean, you should. There's a lot of giveaways on this one that you shouldn't even think about it for 2 more seconds.
This one you wouldn't even need to bring to a jeweler.
Yeah.
It should be real quick.
However, if you wanted to try and find a serial number, where would you look?
If you wanted to find a serial number, you'd have to take the
You actually take the bracelet off, right?
I could probably take this one off.
On the fake, you want to see where that leads?
It's gonna have nothing there. it may have like.
I've seen
sometimes
on
they do some standard numbers.
Yeah,
that
I've
are
seen
all
on
the same.
forums where they all stamp them the same.
That's
That
horrible.
we didn't show that. Put that back. That clasp, this clasp should be a really.
It's very janky.
Yeah, show the real Rolex clasp. Here, I'll zoom back out for that. But that is a steaming hunk of shit of a clasp.
And it's a different style clasp because we've got the Jubilee clasp over here on the real Rolex, and this is the presidential style clasp. So this looks a little more like the presidential, but it would have the Rolex markings on it, and this one has no Rolex markings on it.
It would also
They didn't even
not
bother
be
to fake
rusty.
that. Yeah, it would not be rusty. It would not be a horrible. It looks like it was cast maybe, and then just
It looks like just janky metal. Like
very bad.
yeah,
Low
okay.
quality.
Yeah. So you would it's inside on the edge of the case in where the
Yeah.
yeah.
You'll see it. And actually, we have some of these other fakes with the bracelets off. We can show that. But underneath the bracelet, you're going to find your model number, and then also your serial number on the other side.
Oh, okay.
But there are fakes that have that on there.
But there's a lot of fake I've seen a bunch where it's like if you get that fake number and you Google it ends up to like a really obvious generic place.
Yeah, or you get watches where they have like a Submariner model number.
Yeah,
but
yeah, and it's on a
Datejust,
GMT.
and
Yeah,
it's on the wrong watch.
Yeah, yeah.
So
They're like, oh,
Good
it's
thing
the
to look
right
for.
it's the right number of digits, so it must be completely legit.
you've also got these stickers that were on the real Rolexes for a long time. They were like these holographic stickers. They were meant to be taken off. They weren't meant to be kept on there. You see the green sticker on the case back?
Yeah.
But a lot of people just left them on there. And
It's usually a good indicator it might be legit.
yeah. Although there's a lot of fakes of them as well now. But
People apply the fake green
yeah, they put a
stickers.
fake green sticker on a fake watch. Or you'll have a Rolex that's a legit Rolex, and people will buy a fake sticker to put on it,
to make
it look like it's brand new.
unworn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's that. I mean, new in there's that. Is it new in box faking? Like right, where you'd like just get all the fucking green stickers and if you were that wouldn't you just be super careful and like press them all on like a piece of paper, and save them and then just like gently apply them back on. I'm sure you could.
do see it with sometimes you'll. I actually was looking at a watch for somebody the other day, and it was a Vacheron. It was an older one, and it said it came with original boxes and papers and everything.
Yeah.
But then I looked at it, and it was the new style boxes from like 2000. I think it was 2008 or 2009.
Like the box was too new for the watch,
and the watch was like a 15-year-old watch.
Yeah.
So obviously not the.
See,
original.
that's the problem with box and papers, right? Is like
Might
you
not
have to
be for that
verify
watch.
that it's like okay, it's nice to get a box, but like is that the correct box? Like where do those
Exactly.
papers? The papers I got for the 2 watches I bought brand new have looked like complete horseshit. They're like it's like one card with like a handwritten thing on it. Like it would be the easiest thing in the world to fake.
And that's the thing. A lot of times when watches are made originally, they're not thinking about
The 30
the
years
fact
down
that,
the
like,
road.
oh, maybe in 30 years it'll be a $5 million auction-worthy watch.
Yeah.
And those papers could be extraordinarily valuable. And then they have to go back and figure out, well, who actually wrote that and what's their handwriting look like and
Exactly.
what kind of paper was being used in the factory that made that.
And
there's a
also
reason.
couldn't box and paper. Like my dad had a bunch of baseball cards like Mickey Mantles and shit that my grandmother threw out when he went to college. Like Joe DiMaggio's
Yeah.
and like heavy hitter now, baseball cards, literally heavy hitter. And so I knew better. I still have all my baseball cards.
Yeah.
But because I knew better and because everyone else knew better,
Now they're not so
everyone's
rare.
got baseball
Yeah.
cards. They're not worth shit.
And if yours isn't absolutely
Right.
flawless
So
mint, then
yeah,
it's worthless.
and even then it's like, but because everyone's got some. Because
Yeah.
like with box and papers, I feel like box and papers is a thing now for like watches from the 60s because everyone threw
Nobody
that
kept
shit
them, yeah.
away. But like now everyone's like, no, keep your box and papers. So like, of course, every watch should come with box and papers
Yeah.
because everyone knows better.
Yep. It won't be
think.
so rare in a
Yeah.
little while. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, what else we have in the pile of fakes? That Rolex was terrible.
Let's
I agree. Where are we at now? Is that the
let's do this sub then, because we were just
Submariner?
talking about the serial numbers. And this
Okay.
one's off the bracelet.
fake Submariner?
All right.
Oh, wait. Adjust, and zoom. Let me just get you. Oh, at first glance, it's not like a complete horror show. I mean,
Right?
it's not a complete horror show.
Not too bad.
Not too bad. At first glance, the things that I notice are the missing little bead in the top triangle here.
But you could have that missing on a real one.
I know you could.
All right.
Let me zoom in a little further here. I don't know. I mean, the date is a little janky. I don't know. To me, the one thing that stands out is that the date is kind of janky. And
A lot of times I recommend, like, the dial can tell you some things, but when you start getting into those fakes that were made with automatic movements and they're really trying to trick people, there's going to be some other little clues to look for.
okay. You want to give me some clues, Cameron?
Whoa.
Oh.
I was just going to
Whoops.
pull
I
that
would
back and
say
show you
that
the
clue
tube
number
there.
one-
But clue number one is that it needs some service, even if it's fake or real.
If you can rip the crown
yeah.
directly off the watch with a minimal of effort,
So
you
that
might
shouldn't
have
happen.
a fake on your hands. That's
But
not good.
You can open up the crown and you can check the tube there. Let's see. So you can really see that one, and we'll put it next to a real one. You can zoom in there
Where am I zooming in here?
into the two crowns.
Okay.
So you see how
So on the
one's-
left we have fakey fake, and on the right we have real.
Yeah, and it's a super thick crown tube that's threaded for the screw-down crown, and you have that third gasket there. If you don't see that third gasket,
There's an exposed rubber
Exactly.
gasket on the
whereas
right.
if you look to the other side, you don't have that exposed rubber gasket.
Okay, yeah. That's
And also-
actually a sort of a subtle thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a tougher one. I guess not anymore. Now we know, but
Yeah, now that you know, that's a good thing to look
wait,
for.
can you shove the crown back on the fake?
Yeah.
Can you make it look like what it's supposed to look like?
So it should be
It's not very
sitting,
helpful without a crown on it.
right?
Oh,
Like
okay,
that.
yeah. So now you can really tell that rubber. So when
Right.
you unscrew the screw down crown, there's a visible rubber gasket.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'll pull this out to like time setting. Mm-hmm. You can see it a little better,
right. Yeah,
little
it's a
more open.
very visible black O-ring.
right?
And are all Rolex sport watches gonna look like that? The GMT as well, probably.
The newer ones.
Yeah.
If you have 3 dots on the crown, the trip lock crown,
Yeah.
then yes. The
Okay.
vintage stuff, like older 5512s and 1680s and things like that, they weren't trip lock, so you'll have a different kind of setup for the crown. But majority of the fake ones are going to be faking the newer versions, not the vintage stuff.
You know what? The crown on the Rolex itself is also like beefier and like
Yeah.
it's meatier, and it's got the I don't know, top hat portion of it. What do you want to call that?
Exactly, it's rounded.
The top is rounded and it comes out a little further.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a really good one.
Right?
What else
But
you
even
got?
even look at those crown guards. See the crown guards on the Rolex versus the
I
Folex?
do, but if I'm honest,
It'd be hard to remember which one.
it would be hard to remember which
not,
is
right?
legit if I wasn't looking at them right next to each
Exactly.
other. They're pretty close. I mean, I know, like, okay, the one on the fake, like goes over the crown a little more.
Yep.
Crown. It looks like the crown just doesn't come out as far
On the
fake.
Well, it's a little bit of an illusion.
Oh, because you
basically-
shoved it on too.
Yeah. Yeah, but the biggest thing is if you see the outside slope of the crown guards.
The outer
You
slope.
see how wide the crown guards are on the fake?
Uh-huh.
Whereas
it's just
the
like
real
not
one
as
is
tight
not
of
so
a
wide.
cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a sloppier metal
Yeah.
cut. All right. That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, so the crown area really tells you a lot there.
Yes, it does.
What else do we have?
That's the first thing I always look at on a Submariner or anything that has the trip lock crown
Okay.
because that's almost never replicated.
Okay, cool. What else we got? I think okay.
I don't know if we can focus
Here, wait.
on
Yep.
that.
Wait, we can. Maybe.
Let me move this other watch out of the way and see if we can autofocus.
Maybe pull it back a little bit. It might be a little too close to focus on that.
No.
Pull the camera away just a little bit. Yeah, and then let me zoom in. Hold it there. Okay, we got.
All right.
There's
There
the
we go.
serial
That's
number.
clear.
Yeah,
Perfect.
there we go. Rolex. Oop, it says
Should
a
say
ridge,
yeah.
a rig,
Yeah.
ORIG,
Yep,
Rolex design 116610, which is the reference number of a Submariner of
Exactly.
this vintage.
So you've got that on one side, and this is the fake,
This is the fake, yeah.
and it will
Says
say stainless
Stainless steel
and then have your
X41900.
yeah.
So that is theory
Let's
would
Google
be your
this just for
serial
fun
number.
to see
I'm
what
gonna
pops up.
Google X41900 Rolex. Let's see. What do we find?
Here we go.
Oh wait, Rolex.
Somebody who has the exact same serial number Rolex is trying to figure out if it's real or
Is that
fake.
this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we have a forum thread.
Yeah.
Sorry. What do we got here? Got the watch. It's real. Da 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 da. Anyway, let's just assume.
Yeah.
That let's just
But
assume that
you'll
they
typically-
learned that this is
You'll typically,
fake.
if it's fake, you'll find that other people have the same fake watch, and they're trying
Right.
to find out if it's real, and everyone will jump on them and say it's fake.
Right.
Um,
I've seen
yeah.
seen that happen several times on Reddit. Yeah. Oh wait, look, you're here. Your serial number says this. The other side says original Rolex design. Oh wait, yeah. I don't get it. Your
Exactly.
serial number says this, but the watch is showing this.
Perfect
Yeah.
example, because he said he had a Daytona,
Yeah.
and so basically, instead of making a separate stamp to stamp the Daytona fake with
Yeah.
a different serial number and a different case number, they used the Submariner one because the Submariner is the more popular fake.
Mm-hmm.
So his Daytona has the same numbers as this fake Submariner.
Yeah. So Google the numbers that you find,
Yeah.
like because literally every single watch is going to have a unique number there, right?
Every single watch. should have a
Every
unique
single
number.
watch. Like it's
Yeah.
it's not like that should turn up Submariner. That should turn
Right.
up your Submariner.
Exactly.
Actually, would you be able to Google? You are, right? You can Google that number and verify that it is in fact a real Submariner, or do you have
No.
to go to a jeweler
You
or a dealer or something?
you would have to check with Rolex.
That's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
No publicly
There's
available.
no
way to do
public
that.
database
That's
for
annoying.
unless the watch happened to be sold previously
Yeah.
and the number was leaked.
Right.
But usually people try to avoid that because when real numbers are
Then
shown
they
on the
become
internet,
the fake number.
then they end up becoming the fake numbers, and that sucks for the guy who has the real one. And they copied his real numbers, and now
Totally.
it's the fake. I don't
Oh,
know,
man.
But maybe the real one then becomes very special
If
because
you
all
were-
the fakes are
all the
faking that
fake-
particular watch,
I'll tell you what.
right?
It's like, how good are you at marketing? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Can you
right.
market like, yeah, this is the one? You don't understand.
Yeah.
All fakes are based on this.
Yeah.
All right, cool. What else are we looking for here? Where do we have it? What have we going on in this? Sorry, I'm zoomed way in.
You can also take a look here if you want to zoom
We're
in.
looking at the inside of the
Right here.
oyster bracelet here, and this is the real one.
This is the real one.
and
So
that
you're looking for
says-
this number here.
and we're now gonna become the fake, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, is that your actual number?
So these are part numbers.
Okay,
So you've got a part number for your end link right there, and you've got a part number for your bracelet.
okay.
And this one is one of the older. It's not solid. You see through those links in the center?
Right, yeah.
You see that opening?
Yeah, it's like solid links and then
Okay.
open links.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see what we got on this fake here. Okay, it's a newer style fake. So it doesn't have an end link code. Solid end link, you see, because this is a solid fake one.
Yeah.
On the older ones, you're going to have an opening there. But no opening in the steel. These are solid links.
Yeah.
But anyway, checking this, we won't really be able to do it exactly. But if we can get that there.
Oh yeah, that just has the same number as the reference number for the watch. That doesn't
Exactly.
have the part number for a bracelet on it. That
Exactly.
has a watch reference number
Yeah.
on it. Yeah, that doesn't match. Okay,
Yep.
so a bracelet should have bracelet part numbers, and a watch should have watch part numbers, and the bracelet should not have watch part numbers on it.
Yeah.
Got it. That's helpful. Okay.
So
Oh man. There's so many
one
ways.
other thing I notice on this fake,
Yeah.
it's pretty subtle, but the actual Cyclops is a different shape.
Oh yeah. Hang on. Let's adjust our frame here. Okay.
So
Okay.
one's a little more of a like fuller circle, and one has more prominent flats and corners.
So the fake is more
fake is
of
more
a
rounded.
circle.
Yeah.
Whereas the
The real one is a ground and cut sapphire, really nicely executed.
with like a hard edge where
Yeah.
the curved parts become straight.
Yeah.
That's actually that's a good one. You could probably find that one out pretty quick.
Yeah.
I bet you some Rolexes will spend the money to get that right. But
Definitely.
that's a good one. Can
That's
you line
where-
up the bezels? So
Yeah.
like are the fonts and the bezels like is that a pretty good bezel or not really?
It's
Decent.
these older ones with the aluminum bezels, they were all pretty similar, and you had different fonts throughout the years.
Yeah.
So it gets kind of tricky there, unless you get really
Like I've seen some pretty shitty ones where the fonts don't match at all, but like
Yeah.
or the sizes are wonky or whatever. But this one at least looks like plausible.
Yeah, I mean the big thing here is going to be you've got the dot on the fake one is too big.
Oh yeah. Wait, which dot?
Well, the missing dot.
Oh yeah, the missing part. Is that
Yeah.
a pearl or a dot? What is the top?
Pearl.
And also, it looks to me like the triangle at the 12 o'clock position in the real one is bigger. The fake one, the
Yes.
triangle is too small.
Yeah.
Huh. Actually, most of the markers are a little
too small, right?
small in the fake one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that one, I mean, this one is like not that bad. Like this one would pass a first glance.
Oh,
like
definitely.
a casual
And the
first
Rolex
glance.
sub always passes the first glance, pretty much, unless it's a really horrible fake.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's
Let's open this up because
Oh,
the
you
case
have-
back's actually loose enough. I can just pop it off on the fake.
cool. What is the movement
And
in the fake?
we can check out this beauty.
What do you got there?
So this and it has a loose oscillating
Oh, that's
weight
not
here.
gone well.
So
Great.
anyway, this is an ETA movement.
Oh, really?
It's a Swiss movement fake. So this was probably a pricey fake to begin with,
Yeah, I bet it was like a few $100.
at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Solid
So-
movement.
It is so crazy to me that somebody would spend $500 on a fake Rolex.
Right.
Like, I have a friend who I don't even want to say who it is, but he bought a fake watch, and he can afford the real watch, but it doesn't matter. The fake was like $2,000.
Wow.
It was a fake of something that was like $100,000,
Okay.
and it was a pretty good one too. But still,
Yeah.
like $2,000 gets you a watch that's like actually nice. And like this, it's like, wow, this fucking fake thing costs someone as much as like a watch that's totally decent on its own.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But this
continue.
was a good movement until that crappy crown failed because it's not the true trip lock and filled with water.
Oh, so that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Water will have killed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no markings inside the case back where you should have your your model number for the watch again.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that would say the correct model for the watch.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean Rolex. It's one of those watches it's the most faked watch. So
Yeah,
there's some really good ones, some really bad ones.
a lot in between.
Yeah.
There's ones that I've seen that look very good, but that are just like color combinations that aren't
That
real.
don't exist, yeah.
Like the blue bezel stainless steel is like a
Yep.
non-existent, Submariner.
Yeah.
All right, let's get off Rolex. Let's look at something else.
All right.
What else have you got, my friend?
Speaking of expensive
Bro,
fakes.
we're only on watch 2. This is like a 40-minute show already.
All right.
This is gonna
Speaking
be-
of expensive fakes,
Yeah.
you get into these Audemars Piguet fakes.
Oh, fake APs?
Fake
Here,
APs, and you could really.
I'm wearing a real AP
Spend
from
a
Crown
lot
and
of
Caliber.
money.
What is that? That's parts? Do they send
So
fake
this
parts?
one was disassembled because it's a really good fake.
Okay.
Okay, so the watchmaker at Crown and Caliber probably really had to dive into it to say, this is fake.
Really?
And for sure, this is fake. We're not actually, it's not a real watch, and we're telling this guy that it's fake.
Yeah.
It's legitimately fake.
So how far did he have to go to find the fakeness?
Into the movement.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Like beyond just like looking at it from the display back?
Yes, and I mean, if you work for Audemars Piguet, you will have seen enough Audemars Piguets.
Yeah.
But as an independent watchmaker outside of the Audemars Piguet Service Center, you will not have seen enough Audemars Piguets to know the little nuances. And a stainless steel bracelet looks like a stainless steel bracelet, and this feels like a quality bracelet. Like this looks like a solid bracelet. Good deal. But in here, you should have ceramic balls, not steel.
Real, like just right in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little thing if you're dealing with the bracelet, but
Is
really,
that the
this
ball
is a
that like
solid
holds
bracelet.
the snap on?
Yeah, exactly. This snaps onto there, and it snaps over those little what should be ceramic
Yeah. Oh wait, sorry.
spring-loaded little bearings.
Okay, so that should be ceramic.
Yeah. Then you've got this case.
This
Feels
band
solid. Nice,
feels
heavy,
like a heavy
well-built.
quality band.
Yeah, it was an expensive fake. I guarantee it.
It even has a good it's got a really good snap on.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. If I keep this, I'll use a couple of these links to make a real.
No, you won't. They don't fit.
Oh, they don't. They won't.
They don't fit.
Okay.
This is really nicely made.
Wait, hang on. Let me
But
zoom out just a little bit so we can all
It
all
won't
enjoy.
fit nice if you try to put a real strap
It won't work.
onto one of these guys.
Yeah.
Won't work.
Okay.
If you try to put a fake bracelet onto a real one,
won't work.
won't work.
Okay. So don't do that.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say in a recent show we discussed that those little links
Right?
you've got there, which are just off camera, by the way.
Yeah. And they're
Those
really
links-
nice little links.
Yeah, and in a real AP Royal Oak, they're $1,000 each.
And this is a perfect case of somebody who they could have spent a little extra time and become a good watchmaker and made real watches, but instead they chose to just
I
knock
make
off
more money doing this.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else? So the links they look good, but they won't fit a
Right?
real one. Yeah.
Yeah, so overall, case-wise, solid construction on this watch. I don't know about inside the pushers and everything. You've got your crown here.
Does that? Well, here you've got the real one too.
Yeah. So, solid watch. I'm
Uh-huh.
not going to open up the case or anything, but we've got what their watchmaker disassembled here as well. And I'm going to be kind of careless with these parts because they're garbage, basically. But here's your dial. This was a Royal Oak offshore. And let's pull that other one out. You got the
It's here.
legit one?
It's
Oh,
right
there
here.
we
It's
go.
right in front of you.
Okay. So here's the real deal.
Okay, so let me zoom in. The real. Oh boy, this is like Photo Hunt.
Right?
Yeah.
So check out your subdials here.
Oh yeah. Well, the fonts and the lines are a lot tighter. There's no numbers at all in top of the real one, and there's numbers in the fake.
I mean,
the numbers
that's
are all
not,
different. They're all different.
That's not exactly the issue. What's going to happen on this fake AP is they've got the running seconds up top
Right.
at 12, which is correct.
Yeah.
However, it's not actually going to operate that way.
Oh.
So if you put this watch together, that one's not going to be spinning
Oh.
as you're running second hand at 12. On the real one, that's what it is. So they made the dial, but it doesn't necessarily match the function of the fake watch.
Oh.
You know?
Oh, okay. So does it actually, is that movement that's disassembled an actual chronograph movement?
It is an actual chronograph movement.
Okay. But it's just like, is that a 30-second chronograph dial right here? Is that what we're looking at
So
with this?
This movement
Yeah.
is...
Oh my God, you got so many pieces to deal with here. Wait.
I know. This is
hang on.
another Swiss movement over here.
This is probably kind of like that watch I was just talking about that was like $2,000 for the fake.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
This would have been a $2,000 fake, at least. This is an ETA 7750 movement, decorated.
Huh? Oh yeah, it's got the machine polishing and stuff
And
like
let
that.
me let me confirm it's not a fake ETA as well. Okay, yeah, this is a fake ETA.
Oh wow.
So this was actually a Chinese-made copy of the ETA movement.
Wow.
So that brings the price down quite a bit.
Okay,
Oops.
but it's still decorated.
Yeah, still decorated. Mechanical movement. And then on the front is where they do all these alterations with these additional plates. They go on top to kind of match the fake. And then you've got your date complication, all these little plates that go on top instead of having the module. And they even went ahead.
So they don't have a module. They have a bunch of plates.
Yeah, a bunch of plates with all these extra wheels in here. I don't know if you
my
see all
God.
these extra parts.
It's like not a coherent
Yeah.
module.
To kind of mess with the movement and move everything around so to try and make it match. Because the AP is
Yeah, it's like building a
unique.
kit car, and
Yeah.
and your proportions aren't like right. So
Yeah.
it's like find some like wonky ass way to make your proportions
Exactly.
right. Oh my God.
But then, if you pull up Audemars Piguet offshore, trying to think, it's their JLC movement. Let's see, AP offshore movement.
I will find.
And click on the pictures. Okay, so this one with this solid gold oscillating weight, that's the new one. This one up here is the old one,
So this is the new one,
which
right
you'll
here.
see in this current Royal Oak here.
Okay, here's the new one that's in this Royal Oak right now. Okay,
Yeah.
everyone see that? It's got a big solid, like half a symbol,
Yeah.
almost made of gold with like an engraved horse doing some shit and whatever.
Their
else.
family crest for Audemars.
Oh, is that what it is?
And, yeah.
Okay,
And
so
yeah.
that's the real one. Okay, and now what else am I looking at, Cameron?
Now, if you go up to the older version, which is what all the fakes are going to be of,
Okay, so this one, go ahead.
that's a JLC movement, and that's the oscillating weight. This is the fake oscillating weight that they made for this.
So here's a
Chinese copy
JLC
of the
movement
ETA.
and the fake. Oh, so it's like somewhere in between.
Exactly.
So it's got the old like inner style with the
Yep.
newer golder outer style.
Yeah.
Actually, it's sort of like the old. It's more like the inner style, just with fucked up proportions. Like the steel part is too small and the gold part is too big compared to the real one.
Definitely. And then your ball bearing system's different because it's a different movement that it attaches to.
And also, if I am not wrong, the real one is 2 pieces, and
Yes.
the fake is 1 piece.
Yeah. Well, the fake is
Or
probably.
it might be 2 pieces, but not.
Let's see the
screwed
back
together.
here.
No, that's 1 piece.
Yeah,
son.
the fake is 1 piece.
that's,
Yep.
That's 1 shitty piece.
Yep.
Yeah. How about that? Okay, fake, real. Fake,
Yeah.
real. Yeah, okay, so that's good to know. So the proportions of the rotor are just off.
Yeah. And so if you look, because this is not a chronograph module, it's kind of funny. It's not a module on the fake. So the pushers line up better with the crown
Okay.
than on the real one.
Wait, so what am I looking at? So the pushers and the crown.
Let me, do we have the AP crown? There we go.
What are we looking at there? The crown is definitely bigger in the real one.
Yeah, don't really pay too much attention to that.
What are you pointing out here? What is lining up? Because to me, is the crown like kind of off centered, like a little bit on the fake, like down?
It is, yes. It's no.
What are you talking about?
So
you lost me, bro.
in this movement, you have a non-chronograph movement.
Yeah.
And then you have the chronograph module on the front of the watch.
Okay.
So your pushers are a little bit up.
Oh, okay. Are they?
And you can see up front here, if you look at the pushers and how much of the pusher sticks out, see the cutout?
Uh-huh. Out of the top of the case. Top. Yeah, it's like cut into the top.
And then how much do the pushers stick out on this one?
Not
as much.
Way less.
Right?
The pushers are lower. Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I was trying to point out, because the fake one is actually an integrated chronograph. And the real one is a modular chronograph.
So fake is actually more advanced in this case?
Not necessarily more advanced, but it's kind of weird. It's a true chronograph
more advanced,
movement.
But it's also cheaper.
It's a cheaper movement, and it wasn't meant to be, but it is an integrated chronograph. So it's one of those things where they almost like took a decent movement, except the fact that this one's a fake version of the ETA, and they turned it into something that it would have been perfectly fine on its own. It could have stood on its own as a chronograph.
You could have sold this and put it in a $500 watch.
Yeah.
And it could have been a nice little watch.
Yeah.
But instead, it's some bullshit.
Just trying to pretend that it's something it's not.
Wah, wah.
Yeah.
That's whack. I really wish, I mean, it's nice to have that one in pieces to show the individual parts, but I wish we had it together, because I kind of want to see, like, how close it is.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got?
We've got...
So now you have parts all over your desk.
I know.
Don't worry. I'll take the real dope Royal Oak Offshore. I think, have you ever bought a fake? Have you ever fucked up?
I have never bought a fake. I have fixed fakes for people before.
And told them or not told them?
Oh, no. They knew they were fakes.
Oh, okay.
They knew they were fakes. I did put a strap on somebody's AP once, and he had just bought this AP, and it was a fake. And he had ordered the new strap parts and everything.
And they didn't fit?
And I hadn't looked very closely at his watch when I first got the serial numbers and things off of it. So I ordered these parts. They came in, went to put them on, and this screw's the wrong size. This is odd. What happened here? And, it just was weird. So then I opened it up, and I found out that it was a very nice fake. And he actually went back to the person he bought it from, and they gave him his money back.
Oh,
so it was something where nobody really knew at what point somebody was tricked.
Yeah.
And
nobody would admit
it. Exactly.
All right, what else you got? What else did they send us?
We got some other Rolex. We got an Omega.
Yeah, let's do Omega. Let's do Omega, yeah.
All right, let's throw some of this junk back in here.
Did they send us a real Omega too?
I don't see a real Omega in here.
Okay.
But this fake Omega will be fun.
All right. Is it junk, or is it nice, or is it what?
They're all junk. Every fake watch is a piece of junk.
No, but I mean relative junk.
We'll see. We'll see when we pull this out of the case here.
They also sent us a Sea Dweller that looks like medium junk. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, what do we have here? Mr. Omega.
Oh,
it's a Seamaster.
It's very lightweight.
That's usually a giveaway. If a watch is super light and it's a luxury watch that's not made of like ceramic or titanium.
Right? I'm not too familiar with this watch. It's Quantum of Solace, it says. I don't know if
oh my god, the James Bond
Can you
Seamaster?
see that on the crystal as well?
Oh yeah, it's
on
like
the inside of the crystal print.
Yeah, it's like hologrammed.
Right?
But it's a shitty looking hologram. It looks like the holograms for like your fake ID.
Right?
Yes.
Interesting.
Let me get a picture of what the real one's supposed to look like.
Yeah, because I haven't actually seen this.
Seamaster. Let me make sure it's a large file. This thing is, I don't know. Something about it doesn't look. The date looks terrible. That's what jumps out to me as being extremely awful. What about you?
Where's that real one at?
Here we go. Hang on.
Okay, yeah.
Hang on a second. I apologize. Gotta find you new. There it is. Quantum of Solace.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the real.
Okay.
So actually, the funny thing is, it's not so holographic in the real
Right.
one. I mean, this one has this weird hologram thing going on here. I don't know.
The first thing that I see is that the lume dot on the bezel has no ring around it on the fake.
Oh wow!
There's no ring. It's just lume, like stuck right into the bezel. Whereas this one's a lume dot inside of a nice little circular piece of stainless steel that's then pressed into the bezel.
Right.
You've also got some kind of. I mean, the date is definitely
the date is a
wrong
little
size.
janky. The real one has a white omega symbol over the word omega, and this one has either black on black or nothing. I can't see. It's not white. This one
It actually appears that the omega words on the real one are applied. So it's a metal omega symbol and a metal omega text, whereas on this fake, it's printed text. Right?
That's another good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a
But
good
also
one.
the whole that second hand is red, right? On the real one?
Yes,
And
it
it's
is.
orange on the fake one?
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah.
That's a giveaway. What can you see? What does the text read correctly?
The text on the dial is red on the fake, just like it should be.
But the quantum of solace is a hologram.
Yeah, that's a little odd.
Like they made it a hologram, but on the real one, it just looks like it's just white.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if you can see if we can get it straight enough. But basically, the hologram is crooked as well. They didn't, so they printed the thing onto the crystal, and then they didn't put the crystal in straight.
Yeah.
So it's a little crooked.
But
Yeah.
really, it
And I guess I wonder if this was supposed to be a titanium watch. Looks like a steel watch to
I
me.
don't know. It's let's see, quantum of solace, 42. It's so much smaller than the casino. No, it's just
Let's see.
that's it. 42 millimeter. It does not say titanium.
Yeah.
Here's a picture of the back.
Oh, perfect.
Hang on. If it comes, wah. Oh, where did you go? I hate you, internet.
And this one's 001 or no 0001/5007.
0001.
So this was the first of the
the
5007 that they made of these. Sure.
Yeah, and I'm just knocking it around, you know.
Right?
Yeah.
Another thing I noticed, I don't know what this is here
What?
on the buckle. You see that
Omega Seamaster Professional 07
underneath 007?
TM Dejang?
Right? What
Trade-
is that?
Dejang, I think the Dan Jock. I think it's he was playing James Bond.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the Dan Jock era of James Bond films, and all Omega Dan Jock
Right?
Seamasters. It's a special Dan Jock edition.
Yeah. So watch out for stamps that don't make any sense, just randomly placed on your watch. That's
Totally.
a giveaway.
How's that? How terrible is that strap on the scale of 1 to horrific?
Well, aside from being the wrong style of pins that go through the bracelets, it just in general feels like a piece of garbage.
That's usually a giveaway. An Omega
yeah.
Seamaster should feel like a high quality item. Like
Yeah.
that's a nice watch. It should feel if it
should
feels
feel
like
high
garbage.
quality.
Let me see this thing. Oh yeah, this is definitely too light.
Yeah, I tried to open the case back, but that one's not as loose as the last one. And my guess is it has a little mechanical automatic movement in there in this giant case, and there's a big old plastic ring around it.
Oh yeah.
Whereas the real one will have it'll have a larger movement to begin with, and it'll also have a metal ring around it,
Which will make it heavier.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually probably a good way. Different materials on that ring is a good way to like evenly distribute weight and dial in
Exactly.
the weight
Otherwise,
of
you
your
have
watch.
a generally kind of large watch, and you put it on your wrist, and it feels too light because it's full of plastic. if it has a metal movement ring, which the Swiss will use brass, and then they'll plate it for their movement rings typically, it'll keep the weight of the watch on par with the size of it, even if you have a smaller Swiss movement in it.
I want to see what a movement ring looks like. Oh no, that's a tough thing. Oh, here. It's a good
There you
example.
go. So there's a brass one.
It's
It
a good
just has not
example
been
of
plated.
a movement ring. It's basically the thing that surrounds this movement in the middle of this watch.
Allows you to fit the movement into the case.
Yeah.
That's
interesting.
then if you look at, I think if you scroll back up, this one is plastic.
Oh, okay. That's yeah.
Or no, that's another turned metal one, just a different material.
Palladium plating. That's probably crazy heavy, bro. It's like yeah, here's just, here you go.
Yeah.
It's a brass one, movement ring. Cool. I'm glad I know about a movement ring now. It's a placeholder.
Or you can get what looks to be little actual rings for your finger.
Oh yeah, you can get a watch ring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What is with this Milgauss? Because you have a Milgauss that is black.
Yes.
And so I ran into my friend Lee Keene, the racing driver, recently, and he was wearing a black Milgauss. And this man does not wear fakes. He told me about a guy who plated this thing black in Europe, and it's not Bamford, someone else. But he has a black Milgauss, and I got very, very jealous. And so when they sent this black one, I got kind of excited to see it because it actually looks like, it's like a shitty fake, but just picture the idea of a black Milgauss, and you go, oh yes, I understand how cool that would be.
Right.
So this the Milgauss is the anti-magnetic field watch from Rolex.
Yeah.
Why would you want an anti-magnetic field watch? If you're a scientist?
Yeah, you could do that if you're like around X-ray equipment. Maybe you're doing like MRIs, you're a doctor or something like that. Anywhere where there's a lot of magnetism, you could end up magnetizing your watch, and you could just get a demagnetizer and always constantly demagnetize it. That's a relatively inexpensive option for a couple $100.
If you are briefly around a bunch of magnets and your watch gets demagnetized, can you wind it back up and?
So if your watch becomes magnetized, what that means is that some of the steel components have now taken on a magnetic charge.
Oh, like
and they
forever?
Not forever. Yes, forever unless you demagnetize them.
Okay.
So
using a magnet of opposite polarity and equal strength?
Basically scrambling the magnetic field of that steel.
How do you do that?
So there's little machines, and you'll find them in all watchmaking workshops. You can find them on Amazon too.
A demagnetizing machine?
Yeah. And if you have that problem, if you find your watches are like running fast regularly for no apparent reason, they're perfectly good, and then the next day it's like 5 minutes fast.
Yeah.
Just in one day.
Yeah.
Probably magnetize your watch.
Huh. I may have had that problem back in the day.
Yeah, and then you can simply put it on the demagnetizer, hit the button, and it'll demagnetize it and back to normal.
Do you keep one at the shop?
Oh yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I have a few demagnetizers.
Oh, cool. That might be an interesting thing we should find a way to do an episode on magnetism and demagnetism.
Yeah.
That could be very interesting. Okay, back to this Milgauss. So
this
the
keeps
thing
you from having to deal with that.
a real one would.
Exactly.
I
A
assure
real one
you
would.
this
one does not.
The first thing that jumps out at me on the front of it is that it says Pro Hunter on the dial in orange.
So
is that a real thing?
This is a fake Bamford edition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the Bamford Pro Hunter was a thing.
Oh, it was? All right. Okay.
So this is faking not a Rolex, but a Bamford Rolex.
It's a fake tuner Rolex.
Yeah. It's like it's a fake of what Rolex already considers a fake, which is the Bamford.
Yeah, so Bamford, if you don't know, will take your Rolex and black it out and change the colors of shit and other ways modify it. And they're in England.
Yes.
And they charge a lot of money. So what do we have in there?
So this is actually a pretty neat little movement.
What is it?
This is one of those fake movements that was actually designed to look like a Rolex oscillating weight right there. So this is a Chinese-made movement. The whole movement was designed with the Rolex movement in mind.
Right.
So it has this oscillating weight, which has these funky notches in it.
Man, I got to get a picture of the Rolex
Get the real one up, and then you'll see like they're really imitating it.
Rolex Milgauss movement. Okay.
There you go. So you see these notches.
Hang on. Let's get this picture up in the new tab, people. Boy. Okay. What are we looking at here?
So the notches in the oscillating weight. Mm-hmm. You see how it's got the same notches on the fake?
So there's these slits cut into the oscillating weight, and then your fake has the same slits cut into it. Oh, yeah, cool.
The difference is on the fake, and you've even got those 3 little rivets on it.
Yeah, on the fake, the slits are more uniform, whereas on the real one, a couple of them have
Longer and shorter.
different shapes and different cuts in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the big thing is going to be how it connects to the movement. One has a big old blue screw, and the
fake
other one
has a big blue screw, and this one has a post without a screw.
Exactly.
Is that called a post?
Yeah, that's a good description for it.
All right.
That's the oscillating weight post, and that's what breaks on these movements. And on the new movements, they don't have that.
Got it.
So when your Rolex started making that really loud noise, essentially that post wore out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good news is they were able to fix it.
Yep.
And it was
easy
not
fix.
not
Easy
expensive.
Fix. Yeah.
All right, so the movement is a fake, but designed to look
Yeah.
real, so they don't fuck you up.
Yeah.
But wait, put it back in there. What else? What else in the movement besides that? I also think the thing. Oh, so the hardware holding the balance wheel on is not as nice in the fake for sure.
Yeah. It's also different because it's not the 2 wings on the side. You see how it's just a balance?
Yeah.
cock rather than a balance bridge.
Oh yeah. So on the real one, the balance wheel is connected on both sides.
Yeah.
Here to here, and then on the fake, it's connected just on one side. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Wow.
But these red reversing wheels are like a Rolex signature. These red anodized wheels,
yeah.
Rolex signature.
Here they're
Yep.
these guys. That's so funny.
And then they made these red wheels on their fake right there,
That's great.
just so that to a really novice person, they go, "Whoa, yeah, that's."
Oh look, it's they got the things.
Yeah.
All right. What else on the front of it? Anything else on the dial area?
Well, here's the inside of the case back. Shows some of those markings that would be there, the Rolex markings.
Are these sort of correct attempts at Rolex marketing?
No.
Montre Rolex.
No, because they've got a
GA?
Submariner case number in there.
Whoops.
Yeah.
They got. It's funny. They went almost all the way.
Right?
They got like pretty close.
Right,
Like,
and then they use the same case back that they put on their fake Submariners, but they put a different etching on it to match the Milgauss etching. And we've got the real Milgauss here if we want to show them that etching.
yeah. The first thing I noticed when you brought out the real Milgauss was actually that they're completely different sizes. The fake one's too small.
Right?
The whole thing is too small.
Yeah.
What is that? Oh, the back?
So this is the back of the real one.
I mean, just the writing on it is so much nicer.
Yeah.
And let's assume that Bamford keeps the quality of the writing that high. They must, right?
Oh, well, with Bamford, all they're going to do is disassemble the watch, and then they're going to do the DLC plating. They might change the dial, but they're not going to, like, take parts and get rid of them and remake them.
Right. No, they plate that, but like for instance, on the back of the real one, you've got this lovely writing.
Yeah.
Like, what happens to that writing? Is that...
Oh, it'll just be plated over. It won't disappear or anything. The
It
plating
just-
is very thin, and it won't obstruct that.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what about on the front of the dial? Anything on this guy? Let's look out for it. It's the wrong. Put it next to the real one.
Yeah.
It is the wrong size. Wait, move it up higher, higher,
Prop this thing up.
higher.
Is that better?
No, forward.
Oh,
for higher.
my bad.
Yeah, look at. Pay attention to the
Jeez.
monitor, Cameron.
All right, there
So
we go.
the real one's bigger. It's the correct size, and a lot heavier.
Yes.
Like way heavier.
yeah.
And also the crystal is raised. I can see a little bit on the real one. And what else you got there?
I think on these fake ones, they just use a green gasket instead of having a green crystal.
Probably right.
So basically on the edge of the crystal, there's a green gasket, and it kind of reflects that green light through the crystal rather than having an actual green tinted crystal.
It would be a green ring around the outside of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's kind of neat, actually.
Yeah.
Also, the fonts, the fonts and the writing and stuff just aren't as tight on the. Here, I'll zoom in. Here's fake, and then I'm gonna take a good look at that, and then real. It's just everything is like just a nicer, tighter font. It just looks much higher quality. I mean, yeah. This is like from 20 feet away. You might not see that shit, but like
Right.
Yeah. Especially if you're gonna wear a copy of a Bamford's, like, yeah, they're cool, but people already kind of look at you like you're wearing something fake.
Yeah. Right? I already assume that from across the room, if somebody has a black Milgauss, it's fake.
Yeah.
I immediately assume that unless they tell me otherwise.
Yeah.
And,
But all right. Last one is oh wait, do we have 2 more? No. This Sea Dweller is funny because it's real terrible. And it's a really sad well, it came apart. It's a really sad looking Sea Dweller.
It is. It's a horrible bezel. It's a horrible dial. It's just a piece of crap.
Yeah. So all right. So where do you even start with this?
We don't have the real one. But
the date is a disaster. The date looks
like it's been squashed height-wise quite a bit for the.
Here's the Submariner. Yeah, that's the real Submariner, right? Just for comparison's sake, how the date on a real Submariner is supposed to look.
Well, it's hard to see because you got the Cyclops on the subs.
I guess that's true.
If you could look under it, though, you can kind of look through under it and get rid of that.
Yeah.
This one's definitely too squashed height-wise.
Yeah, it also looks like the movement and the dial looks smaller than that actual size Submariner, and in reality, like it's supposed to be bigger.
Yeah.
Like the proportions are just like
weirdly
super janky. I mean, even though Sea Dweller has that sort of exaggerated proportion anyway. Oh yeah. How's your crown look over there?
It's missing some things.
Is it? Is it missing your gasket? Yeah. No gasket on that crown.
Yeah.
What else you see? Is there an actual?
So,
do you see anything resembling a helium valve on this fake deep sea dweller?
There's a fake helium valve.
Oh, there is? Okay, cool.
But take a look at this. On the back, you know how the case back is supposed to be the ring lock system?
Oh, yeah.
Which means you have a titanium case back, and then you have a ring that goes around it and goes onto the case to hold the very rigid titanium case back on there.
I'm getting a picture of it. Is that this? This.
No. It's the Deep Sea Dweller ring lock.
Okay. Dun, dun, dun. What are you looking for on that?
Well, this one's simply a sticker that's been applied on here to make it look like it's 2 different materials.
Really?
Yes.
Is that the real one?
Yes, that is real. So you can see there's actually a cut here between the outside ring of
Where's the cut?
case back.
Here?
Right here where it goes, there's a color change.
Uh-huh.
And you've got titanium and steel. So the ring itself is steel. The inner part is titanium.
Okay, so the whole inner part here is titanium, and this outer part is steel.
Yes.
And then on the fake...
On the fake, it's simply a sticker put on a solid stainless steel case back. And
to change the texture?
Peel this sticker off.
Peel it off. Fuck it. They don't give a shit. Fuck it. It's fake. Just peel that shit right off.
Oh.
We need to end this episode with a little bit of destruction.
It's pretty tightly on there, but...
I can't wait for you to stab yourself
right?
doing this. Yeah. That's funny. I really like the use of stickers to change textures. I think that's really fucking fun.
Yeah. I don't want to hurt myself, but basically it's something that has been like glued or stuck on the back there that is different.
That's super
to make
funny.
it look like it's the actual ring lock.
That's
but
funny. That's terrible. I forgot. We've done a lot of Rolex. We have a fake Cartier and a real Cartier tank. We got to end on Cartier. Yeah. This is a good one. That's your fake, and here's your real. Check these out. Left side, fakeity fake. Right side, real. All right. So the proportions are all completely off here. Does Cartier make? Is this a case of? Do they make a tiny little one like this too?
Yes.
Also, okay,
yeah.
they do. All right.
So the fake is faking a different watch, but it gets really hard to tell when you get into these like Cartier fakes and these companies like Cartier made a lot of watches over the years, a lot of different styles, whereas Rolex had very few styles that they made over the years. So,
like Cartier has just like weird, really small batch stuff. You mean, right?
Yeah, I mean you could look at this and go like, oh yeah, they probably made one that looks like that.
Yeah.
Whereas with Rolex, you're like, they never made a white dialed, blue bezeled sub.
Yeah,
you know?
okay, yeah.
But with Cartier, you might not necessarily know that.
Okay.
Because they had a lot of different variations.
So what would you look for with a Cartier in particular?
Well, first you'd want to know what you're looking for.
That's a good point.
Like, were you buying a quartz or an automatic, or
right?
Like, what are you being sold? You know, just to make sure that you're being sold what it actually is. So this one says, and you've got your serial numbers right there, so that would be an easy thing to Google. But see this end link here that's actually attached to the case?
Uh-huh.
It's a one-piece end link, and it has 2 different colors of material on it.
Oh.
Which is
that's probably
kind of odd.
Yeah.
So that means you've got some weird plating things going on. You've got, I think, a quartz movement in this guy.
But there's a lot of real Cartiers with quartz movements though.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the problem, especially the little tiny ones.
Yeah, so you wouldn't want to go just on that, which is why I say you need to know the model you're looking for.
Right.
And then work from there.
Yeah.
So if you find the real model, let's type this in, 2301, and see what even pops up.
Cartier 2301.
There we go.
So this is 26.
So let's see what it was even supposed to cost.
Okay.
And see, it's supposed to be quartz.
All right. So here we
So
have.
you shouldn't be surprised if it's a
Here
quartz.
we have
element.
it a $2,600 Cartier Tank Francais, stainless steel, 25 millimeter women's watch, $2,600. So plausible.
Yes. So
A plausible fake.
if this is we've got a real watch here, then the crown's wrong.
Oh yeah. Okay. So we've
The
got.
crown on the real one is more of a squat crown that's a little more, that's a larger diameter.
Yeah. Okay. Compared to.
It's a little flatter, whereas this one sticks up very high
Right.
and is a smaller diameter.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. And then. What else you got there?
I've also got the end link does look a bit different. Yeah.
Wait, the links look different slightly,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so here's the real links. Yeah, the links look different.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Yeah. That looks a little... that definitely looks weird.
Right?
Right?
Let's pull up the case back and see what the markings look like on the case back.
Case back.
Okay, yeah. So on the case back, you've got some interesting things here. You see these screws here where you actually are attaching the...
Okay, so there's, screws on the north and south ends of the case back.
Yeah.
Right?
If you look at the fake one, there's just these stampings that look like screws.
Oh, those aren't real screws?
Yeah, exactly.
Oops.
So...
Yeah, okay, so real screws there. You want to have
Exactly.
those.
Yeah.
And then also, I think the screws, go back to your screws. Look at the screws holding the fake plate on there. The 4 screws holding the case back on.
Yeah.
Compare that to the real screws. The real screws are way smaller.
Yeah. And you've got sharp corners in the fake where you've got
And it's
rounded corners
edge.
in the real one.
Yep. Yeah. So it's a general sense of shittiness and non-refinedness.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, it gets really tricky when you get into the lesser known brands. If you get outside of Rolex, and you're dealing with fakes, you really want to take a good look at a real one before you try to start deciphering whether a fake one's a fake or not. Because it does get tricky.
Especially like this women's fine jewelry stuff. Like, it doesn't need to have that heft that
Right.
men's watches. You know, a Sea Dweller is a fucking heavy watch. And if you pick up, well, this is pretty heavy too. But not in the same way.
With those watches, there's a lot of utility. A
Yeah.
lot of the features are like helium valve and water resistance and, you know, the rotating bezel, and they have all these things that are meant to be used, and so all of those things are really well known and have to be made a certain way for them to function. Whereas a lesser known jewelry watch, not a lesser known brand, but just a lesser known timepiece, you're not going to have all those things, and you just kind of have to look at the look of it rather than like, oh, that helium valve is just fake. It's like a little cork in the case. It's not actually a valve. These ones don't have all those functional things that you can look at. Except for these fake screws in the back.
This does have the Sea Dweller does have some kind of fake moving thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
It looks pretty janky when you look at it up close.
Yeah.
As do they all. Oh my God, that was the real one. I'm sorry. All right, so that is fakes 1. We're gonna have to do fakes again. There's gonna be more fakes. Like it's just gonna happen. So I hope for everyone out there that was a good primer into fakes. Right?
Yeah.
And I like if you gotta have a professional look at it too. If you're talking about thousands of dollars, if you're unsure,
and again, this is why companies like Crown and Caliber are really important. They are the professionals.
Yeah.
They will go through all of this for you instead of you having to take that risk and thinking like, oh, I looked at 100 pictures on the internet.
Yeah.
One thing I've noticed when you Google pictures of watches, oftentimes
you
the
get
fake
come
pictures show up, and you start to think that those are the real ones. If you're not clicking through to every link and realize that, oh, it takes you to some site that's selling fake ones.
Yeah.
They're being cataloged as a picture of the watch, and then people use those to gauge whether that's a real watch that they see somewhere that someone's selling them.
Oh,
and
no,
they go, oh, yeah, it looks exactly like the one on the internet.
Yeah, the internet lies.
So
it's tough. Like, not everyone lives near not that many AP dealers, like, but like, I don't know, not to just shill for Crown and Caliber. Like, there's only a certain amount that I need to shill for them, and we're beyond it. But like that AP, the fake one that's taken apart, like they took that apart on the customer's behalf.
Yeah.
Like the customer wanted to like trade that in for something, probably. Like they didn't just like end up with that. Like they took that apart to like find out what the deal was with it. Like I wouldn't be surprised. Right. Well, I would. No, that guy ran off because they still have the watch. That guy didn't come back. But
there were actually some fake fake AP Royal Oaks that were going around, really, really good ones that were made and they were passed off as real, sold as real. These were not people that thought they bought fake watches.
These
were people that thought they bought the real thing.
And they came into you guys for service? Is that the issue?
Yeah, they came in for service, and they were so good that we kept them and used them as examples. Just unbelievable quality. The amount of energy and time and money that went into it, it was a business, a real business plan of like, we are going to make the best fake that is, you almost can't tell.
Yeah.
But it's not real.
Did anyone ever want to go like, we should hire them? Like they already know how to make our shit. Like we should just we could hire them. We'd ramp up production.
The thing is with the mechanical watches like that, 95% of the stuff is on the surface.
Yeah.
And that other 5% is what costs so much extra money. All the decoration that's hidden. All of those polished surfaces, perlage and decoration and anglage and all these things that go into the inside of the watch that nobody sees, that's hidden, nobody knows, and that's where the majority of that extra value comes when you're dealing with a brand name that has to stand behind their products for many, many years. So that's the one thing that the fakes will never have, is all that internal extra decoration.
Yeah. Let's clear this off for a second because I want to end this show. We're going to ask the audience. I'm going to ask the audience if this is a good idea because a lot of people have offered to do this. You see, in the world of cars, which is where I come from, there's only like 40 or 50 new cars released every year, right? But there's a ton of like these new watch companies, like they're out of nowhere. Like, there's these old companies that have been around forever, but there's like a lot of new people making watches. And like, that's great. Like, right? Isn't it great that people are making watches? Is that good?
I think it's good.
I think it's good too.
It gives us options.
So there's a lot of people who offer to send us watches for review. And I have been reluctant to do that at first, but I decided to take one. This watch is made, quote, made in Los Angeles.
Really?
Yeah, in downtown Los Angeles.
All right.
And it comes in a case that looks like this, which is like a big Pelican case.
That's serious.
Beefy. This is one of these military-inspired watches, right? So Look at this thing. Oof. This is a heavy-duty watch. And I was sort of like, I'm not really into these military-inspired watches. The company is called MTM Pro Ops, downtown Los Angeles. And it's www.specialopswatch.com. Put it under the thing. We have a microscope for this. So this thing, oh wow, I'm way zoomed in. I apologize.
It's a pretty large watch as well.
It's a big watch,
Yeah.
and I'm zoomed in. So this is there you go. So it's a full titanium case with a black DLC finish. It has an automatic movement. It has a day and a date. It is water resistant, although I don't know how deep. It comes in this case with, look, 4 total straps. So it's got a NATO, it's got a rubber, it's got a Velcro, and then their shtick that they told me is that this strap, the metal strap on here, and let me zoom out even a little further. Oh, sorry. Can you actually pull the camera further away? This watch is so big.
It's a big one.
Yeah, so the shtick here is that this metal strap, which is also titanium, is ball bearings. It's got ball bearings in it. It's the only strap with a ball bearing strap.
Interesting.
Interesting, right? So, I just kind of wanted it's not my taste. I'm not a big like military style watch kind of guy, and I know a few people in the military, not very many. The ones I do know, I asked about a watch like this, and they all said they wanted like the lightest kind of thing. Like they have to carry a lot of shit, and so they wanted something light, and this was like bulky and heavy. And I put it on and tried to like set the time, and the crown guards are super sharp and like kind of like cut my fingers up, like almost like,
yeah, they are
almost like when you
They are
load
pretty
up like a
sharp.
Glock and you get like bullet finger.
What the?
And also that moves, and I don't know what it does. Can you tell what the bezel moves, but I can't tell what it does. Can you tell? It seems like spring loaded, like it's supposed to move, but like I don't really know what it does. I didn't read the instructions. I maybe should have. Are there instructions? I don't even know if I don't think there's instructions.
I'm trying to think why you would want it to move, and
There are instructions.
it seems like it goes and then it locks in position, maybe, kind of, partly. Not
It
that
comes
well.
in some sort of instructions. It's got like an operator's manual here, like a punch list.
Yeah, you check that out. See what that says, because I'd be interested in that feature. I've never seen anything like that.
Wait, go back to the put it where people can see it, Cameron.
Yeah.
I know it's hard for you.
I know. So this thing just like turns
It turns
and has some kind of action to it.
how to raise the bezel and lower the bezel. You can raise. That's what it is. You can raise it and lower it. That's the thing that does. You can unlock it and lift it up and move it and lower it.
So that's it. Okay, I
That's
see. Yeah.
the thing.
So basically, if you turn it and you press it down and then turn it back,
Yeah.
it's low. If you turn it, lift it up, and then move it back, it's high.
Bro, does that protect the crystal somehow, or is that?
I think it allows dirt to get in between here, so you can save some of that dirt from the soil in Iraq.
Okay.
And bring it back home.
All right. So, what do you think? Can you tell me about the movement? It has like a display back. What do you think about the movement?
It looks like it's got a 7750 ETA movement in it.
Okay.
Again, it could be a copy. I don't. Gosh. It looks like a quality one, though.
Yeah?
It's got the right reversing wheels. I would say from the looks of it that it's a legit Swiss movement.
That's good.
Doesn't say it.
All right, here's the kicker, my friend. Put that thing back under the microscope. We're gonna end this. What independent of what that watch costs? Is that a nice piece of hardware? What do you think?
It's not my style at all.
Not my style either. Let's ignore that because we have our own taste. Let's go with quality. What do you think?
Quality-wise,
Yeah.
feels like a well-built watch that was made in China with a Swiss movement.
Okay. How much?
The movement is an expensive movement to begin with.
Uh-huh.
So I would think if they're actually going to make any money, it's got to be at least like $1,500.
$1,500.
Yeah.
Read 'em and weep, sir. What do you think about that?
Whoa.
And that, my friend, is the kicker.
Okay.
This watch is $10,000. That's what they want for this thing.
Interesting.
And that's where I jump off board. It's not my style. I'm down with the using of ball bearings, like sort of, I guess. I don't know why that's better. I think it's kind of neat. I don't know why it's better, but homie, for 10 G's. 10 G's will buy you the real version of that fake Sea Dweller we have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you want a tough watch that's going to take, a beating, like, oof, I just don't know. $10,000. Wow. I like the Pelican case.
It's not a Pelican. It's a Pelican knockoff.
It's a Pelican knockoff. That's true.
Yeah,
but
Pelican's a Torrance company, so
I know.
I stand up for them. They're a good.
You know what?
good
And
company.
I apologize to the
Yeah.
good people of Pelican. This is a nice case. It is not a Pelican.
Yeah.
And Pelican is made in Torrance, California. And I do use their products. I have a whole room full of their products just
Right.
next door. So yeah, I thank you to MTM Pro Ops. If this watch is your steez, specialopswatch.com. But wow, 10 G's, my friend. That's a lot of cheddar for a watch that literally nobody has heard of before. I don't want to say nobody. I can't project myself onto others the way I get mad when other people do. I've never heard of this watch before. Have you, Cameron?
The name sounds familiar.
Does it?
I think they may have sponsored something some event that I was at before.
Really?
And I remember talking to someone from the brand, but they didn't really know too much. And I thought it was odd because I was like, the same thing, LA-based watch company or whatever, and we're an LA company.
Yeah. Someone tells me they're making watches in LA. My first thought is excitement. Great.
Yeah.
And then immediate skepticism.
Yeah.
Because I know you.
It should be the case.
Well, and I have learned in most cases so far that I should reverse that and I should have immediate skepticism first.
Yeah.
Because they're like, blah, blah, blah. And I go, I know Cameron Weiss. I know how this is supposed to be done.
Yeah.
And you're not doing it that way.
Yeah.
No, look, if they're employing someone in California, that's better than not employing someone in California.
Yeah, I think they're in Beverly Hills designing the watches, and I think they have a store or an office there or something.
Yeah. Anyway, that's that
interesting
is,
on that price.
Yeah, right?
Kind of blows my mind a little bit.
Absolutely blows my mind. That is a watch review, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want to call that, but that is the best I can do for something called a watch review. Anyway, that's an hour on fakes and 10 minutes on a military style, but probably not used in the military watch.
Yeah. I think you'd get stuck somewhere, snagged on something, and you'd have to cut your arm off and leave it.
Yeah. 127 hours.
Yeah.
That's how he ended up in the cave.
Yeah.
The watch got stuck. Oh, man, that's cold as ice. Anyway, thank you, Cameron, for explaining the dopeness and the shittiness of real versus fake. Weiss Watch Company, of course. Congratulations on the Birdie watch. That's super cool, buddy.
Thank you.
Did you make those old machines work yet? That you bought those lathes?
No, that's going to take some time.
Yeah, Cameron bought some 100-year-old lathes. How old are they?
They are not 100 years old. Okay, so we got the old ones from the 60s.
Okay, 50 years old.
And then I just got a couple other machines. I got a Rose engine from 1850 and a straight line milling machine, not quite as old, I think early 1900s.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
They work?
Yeah, they work.
That's awesome. I can't wait to come down and check that out.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Weiss Watch Company on Instagram, Cameron M. Weiss on Instagram, and of course myself on Instagram, The Smoking Tire. If you want to buy a watch, our new code for the month of May and beyond, we changed it. Our new $150 off any watch at Crown and Caliber with code CAM150, CAM150. And lastly, if you want to buy a Weiss watch, and you fucking should, you just type watch and listen in the comments box of your order, and Cameron will send you, or technically Whitney will send you an extra strap and
a strap and one of our strap changing tools,
which we recently discussed and is made by Cameron in-house. It's not like he doesn't just stamp his name on some shit.
Yeah.
It's made. There it is. Made in Cameron Studio on their lathes, and that's awesome. Woo! That's our longest show yet, an hour and a half. And I have 6 minutes of rest to record another episode of The Smoking Tire. I got to get out of here. Good day.